Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good people. Yeah, you know what it is. Hard worker, scrappy, unfiltered, and sometimes unhinged football content. Hard to explain, but you know it when you see it. Doing it daily our way. I don't know what you're talking about right now. Redraft and Dynasty Fantasy Football, we got you covered. You know their defense is ranked like 31st in the NFL. NFL draft prospects and rookies. Now you know you in the right place for that.
Absolutely.
All right, then stop saying it. Then we're done. And prop bets with my man JRich. Count that money, man. Now wipe the crust out of your eyes. Get you a cup of coffee. It's time to wake your ass up with Ray G. You honestly are making absolutely no sense, and you sound silly as hell. Oh boy. You know, I did not anticipate doing this tonight. This was not on the bingo card tonight, but here we are, right? Here we are. What's cracking with y'all? What's cracking? All right. Appreciate you, Fizzle. Good morning, good evening, wherever you're watching, wherever you're listening. Appreciate everybody who jumped in last minute. Had no intentions of doing this, you know. I just want to enjoy my Friday night. Kids, baseball, and, I was at practice, we had the bat, and I'm just trying to enjoy my evening. Phone's blowing up. When I'm out there coaching, I'm in coach mode, right? So I'm not, phone's in pocket, I'm not watching anything, I'm not looking at anything. Phone is going crazy. Still not looking. I'm talking to a little man on the ride on me, new bat, did well. Finally pull out my phone. I got texts and Twitters and Ray, OMG. I'm thinking I won the fucking lotto. I'm like, what happened? And I see the news come through, and I see there was a trade, and Trey Lance was traded. And I cannot not say that I'm surprised, because I knew he would be. I told you all for months that Brock Purdy was going to be the starter. Has nothing to do with if he's good or not. But I told you, right? Told you back in November he's going to start. So wasn't shocked at all he was traded. But I looked down, and much to my surprise, I see it's the Dallas Cowboys. I'm like, oh shit, I also can't say that I didn't see that coming, because I said 3 days ago that it seemed like a good logical football fit. So here we are. Trey Lance traded from San Francisco to Dallas. It's a deal, and the Cowboy fan in me likes the football move. I think that it's a situation where if anybody thought that Trey Lance was about to get traded to start, you are insane. That was not going to happen. The man was just named the number 3 quarterback behind Brock Purdy and Sam Darnold. So if you were thinking that he was going to get traded somewhere and get an opportunity to start, you're out of your mind. That was never going to happen. It was not an option. So, yeah, I don't know how you got there. So now you turn your attention to the player and the situation that he falls into, the Dallas Cowboys. And what have the Dallas Cowboys done in the past 2 quarterbacks that have been successful in Dallas, right? You know, Troy Aikman back in the 90s, but of recent memory, the 2 quarterbacks that have been successful, neither of those guys have been highly drafted. They were both developmental kind of guys, and they hung around long enough. And in Dak's case, he got the opportunity rather quickly, but they were both sort of unheralded, unknown kind of cats, and they were able to develop those guys into quality NFL starters, and I'd say above quality NFL quarterbacks. You look at the Cowboys situation right now, and a couple of years ago, there was some stuff between Dak and Jerry, and should he get paid, how much, broke his leg, finally got his deal, and there are a lot of people in Cowboys country, and you look across the space, and people are like, they need to find a new quarterback, get rid of Dak. That was some of the narrative, right? Can't win with Dak, too many interceptions for Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott's one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. Is he Patrick Mahomes? Is he Joe Burrow? Is he Josh Allen? Is he Jalen Hurts? No. But he's far from being one of the bottom half quarterbacks in the league. So this move, let's just get this out of the way now. This is not Trey Lance coming to take over anything from anybody, right? There is no controversy. If Dak throws 20 interceptions week 1, he's still going to start week 2, and he can throw 20 more in week 2, and Trey Lance still isn't going to start. So let's just get the like no shit stuff out of the way. He's not coming there to do anything or take anything away from Dak Prescott in 2023 or in 2024. But come 2024, Dak will be a free agent, and it will be interesting to see how the Cowboys sort of approach that situation with him if they don't win. If they're not making the playoffs or losing early in the playoffs, what do? Do you want to give Dak $50 million a year? By that point, it's probably the going rate for a quarterback. 48, 49, $50 million a year. Is Dallas going to want to do that? I don't know. We'll see. And I'm not even saying if they don't choose to do that, that Trey Lance is the quarterback. Not saying that at all. This is nothing. I am talking about Ray Dakota Prescott. This move impacts him in zero way. So don't downgrade. Don't go there. So that's out of the way. Let's talk about Trey. Player that everybody knew coming out of North Dakota State, he was a developmental quarterback. Everybody knew that. Everybody knew he was a developmental quarterback, even the 49ers. So his first year, that's what he did. He developed, right? He didn't play much, got to start a little bit late. But going in that second season, that's when, all right, we got to see what we got. And they gave him that opportunity. Game 1, monsoon game, everybody knows it. We don't care. We throw it out the window. Game 2, he gets hurt, missed the rest of the season. Brock Purdy comes in, boom, we know what happens. The 49ers told what, and I will continue to preach this throughout this season. I'm going to talk about a lot of different things, a lot of different principles, a lot of different strategies, a lot of different things that we've coming up with at DD. But the big thing I want people to understand is even in the game of fantasy, you got to pay attention to the game. You got to pay attention to what the teams are telling you, whether indirectly, directly. And in the case of Trey Lance, one of the things that I continue to say is the absence of anything to me was the most concerning. Had nothing to do with the coach speak itself, right? Even though the coaches told you, hey, man, this Brock guy, we would not be here without him. The players, George Kittle, et cetera, they told, man, he came in there, and Christian McCaffrey, I could not believe the command of the locker room, the huddle, whatever. Even though they told us that, we still didn't want to, blinders don't want to pay attention. Like, we have to pay attention to these things. I'm not saying 100% of the time coach speak, players speak, coach not speaking is accurate, but I think it's a blinding spot. We've got blinders on in the fantasy space because people are so concerned with their pre-draft bias for or against a player, right? For or against a player. We are so dug into that this can't be because I believe this is better. Ain't none of us up there, no NFL GM office watching this show. So it's probably better to just try to follow what the team is telling you. Money, when you go out and sign Sam Darnold the first day of free agency, when you don't say that your number 3 overall pick is the starting quarterback, when you continue to praise the undrafted free agent out of Iowa State, maybe you should listen to that and not whatever Ray G said about the prospect profile 2.5 years ago, okay? So Trey Lance goes to Dallas. I think this is one of the best case outcomes for him. Because at no point in time did I believe he was going to go to a place where they were going to give him a starting job in the NFL. And if you thought that, you're out of your damn mind. So you look at Dallas, and this is a good team. It's one of the best teams in the NFL, one of the best teams in the NFC. Defensively, they've got playmakers, veteran leaders, stars. Offensively, you've got playmakers, veteran leaders, stars. There's no pressure at all. I tweeted this out, or JRich and I talked about this a couple of wake-up shows ago. I kind of felt for the young man, right? I've got nothing against Trey Lance. If you go search my Twitter, there's probably a lot of pro-Trey Lance tweets going into 2021, going into the NFL draft, talking about the situation that he landed in and being able to learn and grow under Jimmy Garoppolo and Kyle Shanahan. So I hate Trey Lance. Nothing to do with that. It just, for me, it was very simple to see that he probably was not going to be the quarterback in San Francisco moving forward. So now you put him in the Dallas Cowboys with a good situation, no pressure to play. He ain't going to play. Now you get to learn from Dak. You get to grow. You get to play with these receivers. You get to learn something new, right? Shit, I don't know what he learned in San Francisco, but you get to learn something new now. No pressure. Pressure-free. All the pressure now is on Brock Purdy. Brock better get it done, right? Because San Francisco looks crazy as hell right now for what they traded for Trey Lance, only to go with Brock Purdy after 8-9 games. But this is where we're at. But he's in a situation to where he can learn from a Pro Bowl quarterback. He can play, and see and operate with veteran leaders pressure-free. And I don't think this is something where Trey Lance is guaranteed the starter after 2024 because the Cowboys will have a decision to make. And I think a lot of their decision is going to hinge on the success in the playoffs. That's going to be on number 4's back, for better or worse, right? For better or worse, it's the quarterback's job to get it done. We'll see how long McCarthy is there, but this at least early. You can't get to Z. Everybody wants to go from, okay, he's traded, what's he worth? Career's a bum. People are going to... It's steps, right? Like step 1 was getting out of the situation. So he's out of San Francisco. He's in a different situation. Step 1 completed. We don't have to worry about it. We're not... Everything, at least for fantasy, things are clear. There's no doubt Brock Purdy is starting for San Francisco, and there's no doubt Trey Lance is going to be a backup quarterback. Cooper Rush, come on, man. Like, okay, he did an admirable job during the time that he needed to play for Dak, but there ain't a soul in Cowboys Nation that thinks that guy's the quarterback of the future. Not one. Not even Cooper Rush doesn't believe that. Cooper Rush just wants to be the backup quarterback for the Dallas. Probably an awesome job. Probably top 5 job in the world. Backup quarterback for the Cowboys. But stop with Cooper Rush. I still have no idea if Trey Lance is good or not. None. I'm not even about to wish cast that. No clue if he's actually good at playing quarterback or not. We've seen good flashes. We've seen bad flashes. We haven't seen much of anything because he hasn't played a lot of football. But the situation that he's currently in is much better than the environment, situation, the mental space. I guarantee that young man's probably feeling a lot of emotions right now, right? He's probably disappointed, probably sad, probably, pissed off, angry. But I also believe that he probably feels a big weight off of his shoulders. There is some relief. There is at least, I'm out of there. And I can try to go do something somewhere else. And we've seen players rehabilitate themselves. If I would have told you all last year, Geno Smith, if I would have told you in August, what's today, the 25th of 2022, that Geno Smith was going to start, win Comeback Player of the Year, make a Pro Bowl, and lead Seattle to the playoffs, y'all would have unsubscribed from this channel so damn fast because you would have said Ray has lost it, right? You would have said, I'm out. I am out of my mind. But yet here we are. Geno Smith just signed a deal. Geno Smith, second-round pick, 2013. I was at the draft in New York when he got picked. So I'm not going to write his story off. I'm not going to do that. What did Geno say? They wrote me, but I ain't right back. That should be Trey Lance's mentality right now. From a fantasy perspective, yeah, Gene, I see you down there, Cooper Rush, laughing my ass off. Yeah, it's wild, man. Julio Rodriguez in the building, really? Julio in the building? What's going down? I don't believe that, but what's going down? But what from a fantasy perspective, right? What do we do now? Well, for those of us, myself included, who still roster Trey Lance in about 3 spots, I'm happy because it's it's something new, right? It's not what we knew was bad. We knew that was some shitty stuff over there in San Francisco for him and his value, but now it did get a jolt. It did get some life. It did get some energy. There is some hope somewhere down the end of that tunnel, way down there. But there's a little bit of hope light. Now, I also tweeted with a bunch of other things that the number one thing killing Dynasty right now is hope. So please, don't take this and run with it. But if you have him, there is some opportunity there, right? And I thought about this for a little bit because I got 3 Trey Lances and I need to try to move them because that's what I'm going to try to do. But did I really want to talk about that and divulge my strategy on the show? But I hope y'all are smart enough to know that absolutely. This is your get out of jail free card. This is your lifeline. This is your phone a friend. This is the time where you probably should just go ahead and sell. My first person that I would reach out to in my league is the Dak Prescott manager. I would be knocking on the door. You want this Trey Lance, protect your quarterback. Dak getting all the way healthy sometimes. That would be my first move, is just for a second. Don't get greedy. 2025 second, let them go. 2024 even better, but don't get greedy, folks. Don't get greedy. This is a window. This is some opportunity, and it has nothing to do with what you believe about the player. And let me tell you why you sell him now. Here's why. I know y'all talk about me and Scott Connor all the time. Y'all always talking about selling for a third, selling for a second. When would you ever do that, Ray? You're full of shit. You and Scott Connor in particular are full of it. You're not selling for seconds or thirds. Let me tell you why you do it, and let me tell you how you get your money back on doing that. You cash out now. If you can get a second, you sell now. What's going to happen? He's not going to play this year, okay? Probably not going to play next year. Probably. So you just moved an asset that was literally rotting, and you just planted the landmine somewhere else. If he gets a chance to start, let's just go best case scenario. He gets an opportunity. The Cowboys say, damn it, Dak, you lost it in 2023. You ain't get it done in 2024. We're not paying you. We're moving on. We're moving on, and we're letting this former number 3 overall pick run the show, right? They give him that opportunity. Just say in some multiverse that happens. What is the Trey Lance manager going to be doing? They're going to be doing the same thing you were doing 2 years ago, right? They're going to be doing the same thing you were doing 2 years ago after you've already acquired the rookie that's actually scoring you some points from 2024. They're going to be like, now's my time to try to sell. And they're going to try to put Trey on the market, and absent him just looking like Joe Montana in the preseason, ain't nobody going to pay. No one's going to give up a 27, 28. No one's going to give that first. So when you're talking about the return on that investment and the potential that you can even buy back later at the same price, and at that point, you've already banked and utilized the money that you got from the 24 second. That thing is scoring you some points. That player played their rookie season on the hope of Trey Lance getting a chance to start 2 years down the line because he's not playing. Absent Dak getting hurt and then Cooper Rush getting hurt, right? We talked bad about Cooper Rush early. Cooper Rush, the backup quarterback too. So if that goes down, it's Cooper Rush season. Trey Lance will not be in street clothes. He'll have on a helmet and a clipboard, but it's going to be Cooper Rush season. So there are like 20 more hurdles for him to get through to get to the end of this race to where you really know what you have or what you don't. What has happened, though, is he's out of the blocks. At least he's running now, right? The race has started. Literally, the race to his value recovery, which when you think about that, you ain't getting that back. If you spent a second-round startup pick on him a couple of years ago, you're not getting that back. So that needs to just evaporate from your thought process. You are not, let me say this. I don't want to speak in absolutes. I'm like 99.9% sure you are never going to get that back off of that player. So just whatever you paid for him is irrelevant. Whatever you spent on him is irrelevant at this point. You're just trying to bank something, man. If you know you have a lemon, if you know you have a defective product, if you know, let me tell y'all, and this is a real story. RayGQue had a nice Hellcat, and that joint was breaking down, and I knew it was on his last leg. So I got the oil changed, I got it cleaned up, and I took it right to the dealership to trade it in. I was like, please, just before you act up, like let the test drive go well. Just last 15 more minutes for you, boy, so I could trade your ass in and get up out. And that's what I did. I'm in my truck right now. I got out quick before the wheels fell off, and they were about to fall off. So my recommendation would be to try to shop him now. Do not, and I repeat, do not wait for that little sliver of light at the end of that long-ass tunnel to either appear or disappear, right? Don't do it. This is a moment and a window to try to go get that done. And I think if you're in savvier leagues, if you're playing with sharper managers, you're probably still going to have to get a little creative. I don't know if you're just going to be able to go Trey Lance straight up. You're still probably going to have to get creative, but you've got a chance because he's out of the blocks, he's not stuck in neutral, and he's off and running. So let's see what y'all talking about in the chat. What's up, baby? Baby mama in the building, what's up? Wife in the building, what's happening? Got to shout her out before any of y'all, but yeah, what we got? I see Scott in the building. Yeah, Hopium is still alive. Yeah, there's a lot of hope, man. I mean, I do want to be like fair that this is better. This is better than the alternative of him sitting in San Francisco because look, there's 200 people in here. We're talking about it right now. I mean, somebody is thinking. Somebody in here is like, they don't know what they're talking about. I'm buying this guy. Dak sucks. Or people are just like, he's on people's minds right now, and he's going to continue to be on people's minds. There's going to be a lot of different strategy pieces coming out. I'm telling you, You got to move him right now. Let's see what else y'all talking about. Yeah, Gene talking about Cooper Rush. I'm still trying to see if for real Julio Rodriguez is in here. That'd be dope. Let's see. Patrick said smash accept for the Cowboys. Yeah, it made too much football. To me, it made too much sense, man. Like just take the shot on the young kid. Take the shot. What is he, 23? 23 years old? Take the shot, man. Take the shot. Let's see. What else we got? I would have preferred Kellen Moore to be in Dallas. But I mean, that ship is long gone. Let me see. What's up, Josh? Josh in the building. He said, old Jerry loves to build up players. I think it's a great place for Trey, man. Like, it really is. Like, and this is the football side of us talking right now. I think they do a good job of building up players, taking care of their own, giving guys chances, and they have shown success with, Tony Romo, Dak Prescott in the past. I mean, shit, they were giving, y'all remember Chad Hutchinson, Drew Henson? They're giving those guys chances to be the guys. So I think it's a good spot for him to try to rehabilitate his career. The probability I think he starts a game for Dallas, I think he will. I don't think the Cowboys made this move to not ever play him. I don't think they did that for that. I do think, and Scott Connor and I were talking a little bit before we started, I don't want to say Dak is on note. I'm not saying he is not on notice, but I do think they're trying to at least build up some sort of leverage on their end so Dak doesn't have Dallas by the balls, right? Whether they really believe Trey Lance can take over for Dallas or not is irrelevant. I think the bigger point is there's somebody in the building that they can at least say, if you don't take this $46 million, we got this kid right here we can go with. I'm not saying that's the right move. I'm not saying what they can do, but looking at Dallas, and I literally just told my Discord group, man, go to patreon.com/allgas, come tap in. But I literally just told them yesterday, I was like, everybody from Dallas, we thought that this year they would take a quarterback, right? I thought they would draft a Dorian Thompson-Robinson, a Clayton Tune, an Aiden O'Connell to sort of, because that's what, they were already in a little dispute with Dak, and he's coming up again, and are they going to want to pay him? So I was a little shocked that they didn't pick one in the draft. So I was not at all surprised to see them go after Lance. I thought this would be a really good spot for him. And unlike Minnesota, I know a lot of people were like Minnesota, but Kirk Cousins is on a one-year deal, which means they would have to make that decision if Trey was going to start for them this year with him taking no reps, and that didn't feel like the best for me, even though he's from Minnesota. Dallas felt like a good spot because you're not playing for 2 years. So sell him, right? He's not playing for 2 years absent of injury. What else we got in here, man? Vikes, I touched on that. I didn't think the Vikings thing was a good spot. I mean, it sounds good in theory, but when you start digging into it, kind of I don't know about that. I don't know. Would you pick up Sam Darnold off the wire? Depends on the league and the settings, man. If you're just in a regular ass 10 team, start 10, start 9, no. Nah. Yeah, Patrick. Patrick said that's a good point, Ray. No rush. Zero rush, zero pressure. At this point, here's why you need to sell. Because after this, after we talk about him for a week and he goes through the news cycles for a week, he's forgotten because he ain't playing. He's not the number one, the number two. He's the number 3 quarterback. I guess if Will Greer's not there. He's a developmental guy. I guess bye-bye to Will Greer. But, yeah, no pressure at all. He's not doing anything. He's chilling for 2 years minimum. 2 years minimum. And, for Dynasty, do you want to hold that? I'm telling you right now, he's not going to play. So if you have the hopium, if you're cool with burning a roster spot for 2 years, then go ahead. But he's not playing. For 2 years, he's not going to play. Not going to play. The only rush on Trey is Cooper Rush. Yeah, and Cooper Rush is going to be that number 2. What else we got? Let me see. Dallas will have packages for Trey. They probably, you know what, man? They probably will. They probably will throw him out there, but that's what it's going to be, him running in some Wildcat. They probably will. I'm talking about play as the quarterback saying hut, hike, turning around, reading defenses. He ain't doing that. Let's see. Somebody said they'd be very surprised if he was worth a 4. I'm surprised he's even worth a 4th. Not going to lie. Would y'all pay a 4th for him? I mean, I think he's, Here's the sunk cost. Here it is. I paid three. Yeah, for the paid 3 first, only to sell for a fourth. I mean, listen. Would you rather get $1,000 for your lemon or $0 because you paid a lot? Like, think about that. Like, I paid $20,000. I can only get $1,000, but I'd rather have 0. Like, screw it. At least I can go, like, I don't know, do something with $1,000. Like, give me the money. Like, shit, I'm already. I mean, those of y'all that day trade, we've been there, right? You do some option and you think it's gonna hit by the end of the day, expiration on Friday, and you just see it's like 60%, 80% L. Hey man, close position. Give my 20% back. You know, like, that's what it is. Like, I know it's going down the drain. Just give me what I got left. So, you know, from San Francisco standpoint, I think Scott talks about this a lot. Sometimes it's the relief of roster pressure, just getting it off. It's just worth it, right? Now Kyle Shanahan and those in the 49ers, there are no more questions about Trey Lance or Brock Purdy. They don't have to answer that. He doesn't have to answer it. Brock Purdy doesn't. Maybe everyone's just better. Something like this, when there's sometimes in life, sometimes people just need to separate, and they're just so much better without one another. And that's the big thing. In the final point that I want y'all to take away here is, like, these things happen. You know, like, we can love a player as hard as you want to. And I'm not going to tell anybody to not have conviction, to not like players, to not love players, to not want to see players succeed. But at some point, there comes a moment in time, a reckoning, you know, you got to look yourself in the mirror, and the realization has to be there that, like, it's probably not going to happen. And I know a lot of times we like to tell ourselves so many stories, right, of how it can happen, when the most accurate depiction, the cleanest story, the easiest read is right in front of you, because it's not going to happen, because it hasn't. So as we move forward, right, when this guy gets drafted in the first round, or he's the top quarterback, or we see it every year. We see it every year. Go through the draft. Look at how many Jake Lockers and Josh Rosens, Paxton Lynch's that just don't succeed. They get drafted high, top of it's every year. Trey Lance is just one. He's right now feels like one of the 2 casualties from 2021. But I mean, I'm looking around. Mac Jones is no sure thing. We want Justin Fields, and we need Justin Fields to progress as well. If he doesn't, his ass is probably on notice going into next year. So this is not like, what's so crazy to me is to see analysts that are just, I can't believe this happened. Oh my gosh, I'm so shocked. I'm so surprised. I can't believe it. I mean, there were literally people a month ago, there were a bunch of people that their rationale and thought process was, well, all these other first-round quarterbacks got X number of starts, therefore Trey Lance I mean, y'all, it's Friday night. I'm trying to be real with y'all. Like, y'all don't. It's some bad people talking about football out here. Like, literally, those were real things floating around. Just because all these other first-round quarterbacks got 50 starts in their career, don't panic. Trey Lance, he's got this in the bag. Come on, man. Come on. Y'all already know. What's up, Rico? Trey Lance will play. Yeah, he'll have some Taysom Hill plays. Y'all, yeah, that's true. He will have some Taysom Hill. He got to make a splash, right? They traded for him, so they got to use him. So Friday night chilling. I appreciate y'all coming in, spending 30 minutes with your boy. I want y'all to get out of here. Thank y'all for being here. If y'all are in the DD Discord, I'm going to pop in a little bit later. We'll talk through this a little bit more. Thank y'all for tapping in. And me and JRich will be talking about this on Monday on Wake Up. So I'm out of this thing. Peace.